Hey everyone, today I want to talk about something that sounds small on the surface, but actually reveals a lot about where the economy stands right now. General Mills, the company behind Cheerios and Pillsbury, just reported weaker sales because consumers are pulling back. They're now expecting sales to fall by up to 2% this year, and profits could drop as much as 20%. That's not just about cereal. That's about household budgets feeling stretched. So if you've been standing in the grocery aisle thinking, why does everything feel more expensive lately? You're not imagining it. Before we go deeper, quick question. Have you changed what you buy at the grocery store because prices feel too high? I'm really curious what you're noticing in your area. Let's zoom out. General Mills has been around for over a century. It makes the kinds of products that are staples in American homes. When a company like that says consumers are financially stressed, it matters. Their CEO pointed to weak consumer sentiment and ongoing cost of living pressure reshaping spending habits. And honestly, you can see it everywhere. Rent is higher, mortgage rates have been elevated, insurance costs are up, utilities cost more, car repairs aren't cheap. When fixed costs rise, something has to give. People don't stop eating breakfast. They adjust. Maybe they switch from name brand cereal to store brand. Maybe they wait for sales. Maybe they buy one box instead of two. Each change feels small. But over time, those small adjustments add up. For years, food companies were able to raise prices and still maintain strong sales. Inflation increased, and companies passed those costs along to consumers. But this year feels different. Consumers are pushing back. General Mills said more people are only buying when products are discounted. That tells you something about the mood of the country. Even with relatively low unemployment, people feel squeezed, and feeling squeezed changes behavior fast. There's another layer to this story. The company also mentioned GLP-1 weight loss medications affecting eating habits. People using these medications often eat smaller portions and prioritize protein over carbs. That could mean less demand for traditional carb-heavy products like cereal. So now you have two forces happening at once: economic pressure changing health trends. That's a double hit. Here's the bigger takeaway. When a defensive company, one that sells basic food, starts seeing weaker demand, it usually signals that middle and lower income households are tightening their spending. So what can you actually do if you're feeling the squeeze? First, mindset. Switching brands is not failure. Store brands have improved dramatically. In many cases, they're made in the same facilities as name brands. The difference is often marketing and packaging. If switching saves you $3 minus $4 per week, that's over $150 a year. That's meaningful. Second, identify your personal price ceiling. We all have a number where we think, that's too much, pay attention to it. That awareness keeps you intentional instead of reactive. Interestingly, when General Mills lowered prices on about 2/3 of its products, sales volume improved. That shows how price-sensitive consumers are right now. Your hesitation isn't irrational, it's logical. Third, use promotions strategically. Not chasing every sale, but planning around predictable cycles. If cereal goes on sale every 6 weeks, stock up then. If dog food drops quarterly, plan for that. That's not extreme couponing. That's timing. Now let's talk about housing, because this is deeper than groceries. The company specifically mentioned housing pressure. When rent or mortgage payments consume 30 to 35% or more of your income, groceries become the adjustment point. Food is flexible. Rent usually isn't. You might not be able to change your housing situation overnight. But over time, Things like refinancing when rates drop, negotiating rent, or planning a move at lease renewal can matter far more than switching cereal brands. Reductions in SNAP benefits were also cited as part of the strain. When assistance declines, purchasing power falls immediately. Staying informed about eligibility or local food programs can help families bridge gaps. And I want to say something gently. If you can't afford what you used to buy, that's not personal failure. This is the cumulative effect of years of inflation, policy shifts, and rising costs. Even corporations are adjusting. General Mills is cutting about 20% of its least productive products and shifting focus toward higher protein items. If billion-dollar companies are recalibrating, it makes sense for households to recalibrate too. So what does this mean at your kitchen table? Budgeting isn't optional anymore, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Know your grocery baseline. If you used to spend $150 a week and now it's $190, that $40 difference has to come from somewhere. You either reduce another category, increase income, or adjust what's in the cart. Bulk buying staples can help: oats instead of boxed cereal, rice and beans for flexibility, eggs for affordable protein. They're not glamorous, but they're efficient. And be careful with emotional spending. When the world feels uncertain, small comforts feel tempting. A nostalgic brand might feel good in the moment, but not if it adds stress later when the bill arrives. Here's the reality. Grocery pressure doesn't come from one big shock. It comes from small price increases repeated over years. Quietly. Gradually. Until your financial foundation shifts. If you don't adapt, you slowly lose ground. So no, this isn't just about cereal. It's about price sensitivity. It's about shifting consumer behavior. It's about value becoming the dominant expectation. Your job isn't to panic. Your job is to stay aware. Track categories. Notice patterns. Stay flexible. We're in a period where value is king. Brand loyalty is weaker. Households are making micro adjustments every week, and that's not weakness. That's resilience. You don't need every premium product to be financially stable. Sometimes the smartest move is quietly choosing the cheaper option and investing the difference. Cereal sales declining isn't just a breakfast headline. It's a signal. A signal that consumers are cautious, selective, and paying attention to every dollar. And if you do the same, you'll stay steady, even when the economy feels tight.